Shalom. Before I get started, I would like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule and teach well, and peace and safety to the Akim that spread across the four corners of the world, that's pushing out this truth, that's giving our diligence and putting their lives on the line to do so. This is the brother Karas out here out of the GMS Atlanta camp. Just here with the lesson, basically pertaining to, the coronavirus. The coronavirus, and it spread, throughout, the world, but, without further ado, I'm just going to get, right into the scriptures, and I'm going to pull an article, and, Abaratazah, this lesson is edifying. So this is Matthew 24, chapter 24, and verse 6. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." So as we started off, this so-called New Year, 2020, we have seen all of these things, man. We've seen the famines, taking place in other, countries, even in America, the food, is basically devaluing. We've seen the pestilences, which, the main one that I wanted to speak on, which is the coronavirus, and we've seen the earthquakes, which are, everywhere, man, and it says all these are the beginning of the sorrows, so these are, certain, examples that's or things or prophecies, that's telling us that we're at the end of the times, man, that we're close, to the end, but it says the end is not yet, because we still have to go through, certain prophecy, man, such as, Armageddon, the chip, and many other prophecies, man. That's why, the apostles and the elders, basically always tell us, to keep up, with the current events and with the scriptures, to basically judge, what time we're in, So this is Second Ezra chapter 15, I believe it's verse 49. It says, "I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death." And that's what, the time we're in, man. Especially with this, coronavirus. The Lord is sending these pestilences, throughout the world, to spread death, man. For destruction and death. Basically, for the wickedness, that the so-called white man has committed while in his rulership. So this, I'm just gonna get an article from theverge.com. And there's plenty, other articles that speak on, this coronavirus that started in China, which is making its way, over to America. But because if I'm not mistaken, we've already had, I believe it's 5 states, at least 5 states, that's basically detected, the coronavirus here in America. So it says, World Health Organization declares global public health emergency over coronavirus. So this is a world, health organization, man. This is an actual emergency, man. And here it is, these people are getting blinded, through entertainment, such as Kobe Bryant's death and his daughter, you know, the Grammys or the Oscars or whatever it was, you know, this is, what's what the people are getting blinded by, when all hell is breaking loose with this coronavirus, man. And as brothers, brothers watch, certain shows that show, the even though it's a show or a movie, it shows how, the amount of people, that's gonna die, from these pestilences, man. That's why the World Health Organization declared it in national emergency, man. It says there are over 8,000 confirmed cases of the virus spread across nearly 24 countries. And there's millions, of people, who's basically in quarantine, man. All because of this one virus, man. So I'm just going to look up, I pulled up the definition for pestilence, just, for edification's sake. So it says a fatal, it can kill you, man. It says a fatal epidemic disease, especially bubonic plague. So this can be, basically, another scenario such as the bubonic plague, man. It's epidemic, man. It's an epidemic, man. So let me just read, a couple of read into this article. It says the ongoing coronavirus outbreak is a global health emergency. The World Health Organization determined today, since it started last month. So it hasn't even been a whole month yet, and it's already a national outbreak, man. It says the virus is spread has reached nearly 24 countries, sickening thousands, and impacted both travel and business around the world. And that's basically how, a virus spread, man, through travel. You have one person, sick, in China. I believe the city was Wuhan. So lucky if I, mispronounce it, but that's the city where it started. And it spread, man, to, somebody from Wuhan may have traveled, from there to America, man. It's made its contact here, man. It says the virus spread has reached nearly 24 countries, sickened thousands, and impacted both travel and business around the world. It says the main reason is not because of what is happening in China, but because of what is happening in other countries, said Tedros Adhanom, Director General of the WHO. It says, our greatest concern is the potential for the virus to spread to other countries with weaker health systems which are ill prepared to deal with it. So these poor countries, are basically going to get the worst end of it, man. Why? Because they don't have, as it says here, they don't have the same, the healthcare and, the hospitals, doctors, the space for large amounts of people to come in, wanting help. This is what's happening, and it's gonna all through for privacy's sake, it's gonna continue to get worse and worse, man. Lord willing. It says see. Oh, it says despite the emergency declaration, the WHO is not recommending any restrictions on travel or trade at this time. See, even though this pestilence, they declared it a national emergency, man. They're still allowing people to travel and trade over to China. So certain a majority of our resources come from China, man. And here it is. It's still getting shipped and traded from China to the America. So you don't think that that virus is gonna basically spread throughout the Americas and pretty much everywhere else. That's common sense, man. Even someone who really don't study up on certain things like this will understand that, man. Will understand that it is simple, man. You should put restrictions on travel, man. you know. But that also, you know, comes from the pride that Esau has, because they think that they can stop it. They may think they may stop it, or even it may be their agenda, man. You know, dealing with the new world order, man. So you never know. But you just understand that, the thing that is going to continue to get worse and worse. So that was kind of all I wanted to read on the article. If you wanted to, look more into it, you can see the the website name here. It just shows you that the WHO organization, which is World Health Organization, basically made this coronavirus, a global public health emergency. So probably just get one more scripture, and I'm gonna go ahead and close out. Because the same thing, Salakia, the same thing happened back in Egypt too, man. Salakia. This is Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 23. It says, For I will send into her pestilence and blood into her streets, and the wounded shall be judged in the midst of her by the sword upon her on every side, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So that's is what going to take place, man. That the judgment coming from the Lord, is going to continue to grow more and more to where, it's evident that it's coming from a higher power, man. Which is coming from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. All the wicked, and is going to be judged. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm going to go ahead and close out by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule and teach well. Peace and safety to the Akim that spread across the four corners of the world, that's pushing out the truth, giving all diligence and putting their lives on the line to do so. Until the next time, Shalom.